Kelowna Secondary Jazz Quartet, and you'll be hearing more from them soon. Now they're here because it's Jazz Festival time, and we're talking about that on today's show. Also on the show, we have KCR Community Resources and the man who kept Kelowna running for 13 years, Ron Mattussi. Stay tuned for all that jazz coming up next.
Hello there, I'm Anita Reimer, and I'm here today with our former Kelowna City Manager and newly retired Ron Mattussi. Ron, can you tell us, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Yeah. Can you tell us, what does a city manager do?
City manager do? Well, city manager, a lot of people don't realize, is council's only real employee. Okay, so the way we run our cities is that council, like the board of directors of a company, but the day-to-day running of the company, like the president of a company, is the city manager. So a city manager then has to go and hire those 900 people that police our streets and put out fires and run the airport and plow the roads and keep the water clean and all kinds of things. Yeah.
So you're like the president of Kelowna.
Yeah, I guess in some ways.
It's your kingdom.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not, no, because you're still an appointee, right? So you're kind of a, they call it leadership in the shadows, because a lot of our job really isn't, we're not political, right? We just run the day-to-day.
And how does a person become a city manager?
Well, most city managers get the job by moving up through the ranks. I was a planner, became a director of planning. Other city managers could be director of finance or engineer. So all the different disciplines that make up the city eventually, give you enough experience in the city, and as you move up, that if a council decides and offers you the job and a majority vote for you, then you become the city manager.
Wow, and you've been city manager for 12 years now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow, so you must have seen significant changes in the past 12 years. How has Kelowna evolved as a city?
I think, Kelowna is a very special place, first and foremost, and it draws people from, used to be, draws people from the prairies, but now draws people from around the world that move here. So, we're a very fast-growing city. We're a very beautiful city. We're in a very fragile environment, right? So over that time period, we've had to try to manage that growth the best way we can, because you can't stop it. The notion that you could stop it is kind of silly. So you try to manage it. So Kelowna's kind of, when I came, I kind of think of it as kind of a gangly teenager. We always had this huge growth in the 80s, and but didn't quite figure out what to do with it yet. So you're like a 12-year-old with a 6 foot tall, and over time I think Kelowna's evolved. I've seen evolve to I'd like to think of it as a young adult. It's still a lot to do, lots of promise, really going places, but kind of matured and stabilized to some extent. Although we're still growing, I think it's much more comfortable in who Kelowna is today.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you see the city of Kelowna becoming?
Well, I think that people have underestimated the role that the university, the college, and interior health play as a catalyst for a different type of growth. So I think in future you're going to see a lot of that knowledge creating different types of industry. We see the immersion of the tech field, but there's also healthcare. We have aeronautics. So I think you're going to see some of that knowledge that's currently in the Lower Mainland, the Pacific Northwest, move into Kelowna as well. So maybe a little Seattle, a little Vancouver. Yeah. Okay.
Now, what would you say are a couple highlights that you've had in the 12 years that you've been city manager?
Oh, that's always a hard one, because the job changes every day, every hour, and it's certainly not for the faint of heart. Some of the highlights, I think that, dealing with the issue around the Cardington, which was trying to deal with people with mental health issues and homelessness, and dealing with the NIMBY that created. And it was quite almost violent, the reaction and the fear and the hysteria. And yet if you walk on St. Paul Street today, you would never notice the building was even there. And so to me, that was a real highlight. And once that building was done, all the rest of them, was easy, because you could always go back and say, look, this building functions and it's not destroyed the neighborhood. And so I think that was one of the highlights. And some of the other things, the Rails to Trails, the IHA building, and just the whole waterfront development. I'm quite proud of the way the downtown and the waterfront has evolved. And some of that started under my predecessor and will probably finish under someone else.
Yeah. Now, you being newly retired, was there a certain moment in time where you said, yes, now's the time to retire? I've kind of completed what I meant to do.
Yeah, I think, when I took the job, I said I would do it for 10 years because I thought that would be good shelf life, right?
Yeah,
You kind of get in, make your changes, do the things, and then move on. Because it is a high stress job. It's a 24/7 type job, but very, very rewarding. I mean, that's the other side of it. So I thought I would do it for 10 years, and there was an election in the middle there, and was sort of asked to stay on so that the new council wouldn't have to have a new city manager and a new mayor and a new council. So stayed on, and really it was just time. I think the city deserves somebody who's comes in every day, ready to tackle all those problems. And after about 12 years, you kind of reach a point where you say, okay, that's enough.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Ron, for joining us, and thank you for all the contribution that you have put into Kelowna. Kelowna is one of the best places to live in the world. We love it here. Thank you so much for all your hard work. And now, back to the smooth jazz sound of the stages.
And that, of course, was Stages, the jazz quartet from Kelowna Secondary School.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful. And that was incredible. So come on, I'm going to bring you in here. So I know how much you all want to talk to me right now. Yeah. I'll let you put down your instruments. So you guys are going to be performing in the Kelowna Jazz Festival. And I was told it's non-competitive. So what are you hoping for? Let's scooch over this way a little bit. What are you hoping to get out of that performance, or what sort of experiences, or?
Well, it's a great opportunity to get some great feedback from some professional musicians around town, and the Central Okanagan just in general, which is really, really a great opportunity.
And how long have you guys been playing together as a group?
2 years.
Just 2 years?
Yeah, almost 2 years. Not quite actually, since like summer 2016.
So
almost 2 years.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Forget
That's incredible. And I see that nobody here is playing with sheet music because jazz is a lot of improvised. How do you rehearse and get that sort of cohesive as a group?
Well, we rehearse with sheet music and then we take it away.
It's like, take away the
Usually.
magic.
It depends on the song too. Some songs are easier just learned by ear, but some songs we do need sheet music for, definitely.
Wait a second. So you literally would just sit and listen to music and then replicate it on your...
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't.
And so you guys are still obviously in high school.
Yep.
How did you get into jazz of all musical genres?
Well, it was KSS. Huge thanks to KSS for their jazz program.
Sheila French in particular, the director, has been a huge influence, I know, on all of us. Been a fantastic inspiration to all of us. She pushes us further. She gets us a lot of amazing opportunities to play with great musicians. Just recently, we brought in Corey Weeds to work with the combos, and soon we're going to be bringing in Bria Skomberg, who's a trumpet player, world-renowned trumpet player. She's going to be working with our combos in May.
Incredible.
And this is all, part of the KSS and the Kelowna jazz music scene. It's really great opportunities.
And with all of that, all those expertise at hand and all that training, what do you want to do next? What is the goal? To go with your careers or schooling? What are we thinking?
I think we're all planning on pursuing careers in music. We're all hoping to go to universities or colleges to get a further education in music.
And then maybe we can hear you on the radio one day, or maybe see you in performance in a orchestra. Is that maybe a good goal to have?
For sure.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
awesome. Well, you guys are incredible to listen to. I thoroughly enjoy jazz. So thank you so much for being here today and just sharing that with us. Now we're going to head over to Sheila French and Chris Perry, who have a lot to do with making the Jazz Festival happen.
Well, hello, my name is Anna Jacyszyn, and I am so excited to be invited to co-host on the OK Show this week, because we're going to be talking about my favorite subject and the thing, well, my sugar daddy, the thing that keeps me alive and paying the bills, jazz music. It is the BC Interior Jazz Festival on April the 12th, 13th, and 14th. And with me, I have the brand new festival coordinator of the festival, and Sheila French, who is an educator. So how are you both?
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah?
Fantastic.
Chris, Sheila. So Chris, I'm going to talk to you first. I want to ask you, what is the BC Interior Jazz Festival and what's so special about it?
It's 3 days of absolutely fantastic music played by some fantastic young musicians, all the way from middle school to high school. You heard the grade 12 students earlier. I teach some of the middle school kids who are in their first years of jazz. And it's an opportunity for these kids to get a great performance opportunity in front of some great adjudicators, and for the public to hear these future jazz greats playing right at the beginning of their musical journey. It's a really great opportunity for the public also to come on Thursday evening at the Forum and on Friday night at the Kelowna Community Theatre to hear some professional musicians play at their best.
Exactly.
Some great jazz.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the adjudicating, because that is a really important thing as part of the growing success of this jazz festival. Tell me a little bit about who are coming in to adjudicate, and what does this mean, the gold, silver, and bronze winners? How do you adjudicate jazz?
Well, it's really all about getting an educational experience for the students and to get them to grow. They get to have their performance on stage, where they have two adjudicators watching their performance, and then one of those adjudicators takes them to another space where they get to have 25 minutes one-on-one with that adjudicator to really grow as musicians. Right. So they get a chance to work with musicians such as Horace Alexander Young from the University of Washington. Yeah. We also have Dennis Essen from Capilano University coming to town. So some fantastic adjudicators, and really what these adjudicators try to do is bring those bands to the next level. Whatever level they're at right now, they want to be just a little bit better coming out of that adjudication.
So tell me, Sheila, you have been a part of the Jazz Festival for as long as I've been here. So has it been over 10 years? How many years have you been here?
I've been in Kelowna for now 18 years,
and a part of the
festival for about 16.
About 16 years.
Yeah.
So tell me about the adjudication. How has those notes helped you teach some, because you've got some great kids from the past who are now being on the forefront of the jazz scene. So tell me a little bit about how those notes have helped.
Okay. Every year the adjudicators change and come in and work with our students, and they really do grow from the experience and the opportunity and the learning. It's not always what they say there, although that's a lot of it. It's also the connections that students make with these adjudicators, especially the senior students who are maybe moving on in music, like the young men that you just heard. You know, 3 of the 4 of those young men are graduating this year. The 4th is graduating next year, and they are all going on to post-secondary education, musically speaking. Absolutely. And they have connected with these adjudicators through the years at our festival.
Now, how do you crack the whip? How do you get these kids to be this good? Because my piano lessons, I would do anything to get out of piano lessons.
I beat them.
You beat them. See?
Totally. Of course I do.
Mom, you should have beat me.
Isn't that what all teachers do? No. Just kidding. You know, I give them a lot of opportunities. I spend a lot of time with them. I feed into them in every possible way, not just musically.
So you take them on trips, on actual field trips, and get them excited about jazz.
Absolutely.
That's important.
That's a lot of it, is you want to get them excited about it, and then it motivates them to practice, right? And to play more and to listen more. And when they're listening more, they're practicing more. When they're practicing more, they're playing more. And when they're playing more, they're growing. And,
my goodness.
And to get them to just connect.
So we've got that happening during the day, and the public can come and see it. You pay $3 at the Kelowna Community Theatre to see this. There are some workshops also happening, because I know that some of your master class, your main star on the Friday show is going to be doing some vocal jazz, which I'm going to be at, but you also have some workshops. Tell me a little bit about that workshop, just in a second, so that I can just brag to the people about these workshops to come and see them.
So you can find the schedule at the BC Interior at bcinteriorjazzfestival.com, and we've got the whole schedule laid out there, and it's going to be the best musicians focusing on their strengths, saxophone players focusing on saxophone, drums, piano. We're going to have all these great opportunities for people to showcase their craft and to grow as musicians by attending these workshops.
Right. So
and it's free.
And it's free. The things that you do have to buy a ticket for is for the Friday night show, and then on Saturday you've got the winners and your festival for all the students. Just quickly tell us about that so that we can get a ticket and go.
Sure.
Yeah.
The other thing that you want to know is that on the Thursday at the Rotary Center for the Arts, you can go and hear all the combos.
Exactly.
And the combo.
At the Jazz Jam. On the Thursday?
No.
Thursday evening.
Like the
Jazz Jam and the
performances
concert.
for the students are during the day on Thursday at the RCA. And those are free. You don't have to pay to go to that.
All right. Well, listen, we are going... I have so much more to say, but I have to give myself back to Lucy, because she is going to be talking to a couple of fabulous people over there. Lucy and fabulous people.
Thank you, Anna. Yes, I am joined with Caitlin Mitchell and Ellen Volke from the KCR Community Resources. Hello, ladies.
Hi, Lucy. Thanks for the invite.
You are very welcome. So, tell us, what is the KSR Community Resources? I'm trying to say that as
Yeah, it's a tricky one. We are a not-for-profit agency. We've been around the community for about, it's been over 34 years. It's been a long time. And we actually started off with the crisis line and layperson counseling a long time ago. Yeah. And now we've expanded to 4 different departments, over 15 different programs. And we serve families and individuals that are in need in our community. And we also serve the not-for-profit sector.
That's incredible. Yeah. So obviously we don't have enough time to talk about all of those factors. 15 programs is quite a few.
I think people be kind of bored by the end of the
I just think it'd be a lot of information to take in. I need a notebook and a pen. So today we're going to talk about which department?
So we're going to talk a bit maybe about the employment program.
Okay, so employment program. Caitlin, I feel like you might be prepped to answer this question.
Absolutely.
So what exactly is the employment program and how can it benefit the community?
You bet. So we run 2 different employment programs. The first one is essential skills programming. So that's for anyone in the public, general public, who would like to maybe go back to school or just increase some of their basic skills to be able to gain and maintain employment. The second one is a job readiness program. That one we do for specialized populations, so for immigrants to Canada, for persons with disabilities, as well as for mature workers.
So you really are catering to the entire community.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So as a non-for-profit, how can we help to support this program? So obviously this is incredible offering that you're having for every aspect of the community.
Well, actually KCR has over 300 volunteers. Yeah, exactly. Just a handful. So there's so much to do. And if anybody would like to learn a little bit more about KCR, they can just go on their website, which is just kcr.ca, or they can give us a call, 763-8008.
And we'll have that up on the screen, I'm sure. That's amazing. Yeah. Now, what are the expectations of volunteering? Like, how intensely do I need to volunteer to support this program?
It can be a whole range of things. It can be a one-off event that people are coming to help with. They can be an ongoing mentor. We've got all different types of mentorship programs. You can work on the crisis lines, answering calls. Again, we've got a real variety of different opportunities.
So just like you have 15 different programs, you have many different opportunities for us to get involved and support.
Absolutely.
Now, what kind of person are we looking for that would maybe utilize the employment programs beyond, obviously, those sections that we looked at?
Absolutely. Yeah, so anybody that's looking for work, the programs are basically both 7 weeks in class, half days. So you come to KCR, you work together with a whole group of people. You build some partnerships. Our employment counselors will work one-on-one with you, help you develop your resume, your cover letter, give you all the skills that you need to be able to go out and look for work and be confident about it. A lot of it is just building up that confidence, right? Looking for work is hard for anyone. And so really being able to give them an opportunity to build those skills, to feel confident, to know what they'd like to do. Sometimes we don't always know what to do with the skills we've got, or if we've had a change in career and we need to look at, okay, well now how do we use our skills and our interests in something new?
And how about once we would get employment, is there still support then, or is it?
Absolutely, yeah, we do a 12-week follow-up. So again, the goal is to help people find work or to go back to school or create a business. And so we will work together with them to meet whatever their individual goals are. All of our programming is really individualized, so obviously it's a group format, but we try to really personalize it to whatever those individuals are needing.
That is amazing. So what kind of numbers are you looking at in those groups for training? Is it large groups of people? Is it small, more sort of focused?
They're more small, intimate groups. So we're looking at sort of, anywhere from 8 to 12 individuals per group. And they'll follow through that 7 weeks together. And in the meantime, we'll start another group.
That's wonderful. Well, ladies, thank you so much for doing all that you do here in the community. And if you do want to find out more, again, you can check out the website and maybe you can volunteer too. And up next, we're going over to Emily with our community calendar.
Hi everyone, I'm Emily Strandbow, and I'm here to bring you the latest events happening in the Okanagan. The Okanagan Regional Library keeps things busy with their English Corner drop-in groups, Tuesday nights at 6:30. If you are someone learning English, this is the perfect thing for you. You can expect to build a community of friends and learn new things beyond expectations. This group meets every week to explore and talk about different topics that will keep you inspired and having fun. These English Corner sessions run from April to August. The Kelowna Dragon Boat Club is looking for a mix of individuals to start a new paddling team. If you are someone who loves to be active, meet new people, enjoy nights out on the water, and try a new sport that is going to be in the Olympics, this is for you. Tryout days are in April and May. The Vernon Community Arts Center is holding a fundraising concert April 20th. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. and the funds raised from this event go towards the center's youth art program. There are many great musicians who will be making appearances, including Lowell Friesen, who is featuring. For more information, feel free to contact the Vernon Community Arts Center. You can do all of these events and more in the Okanagan, but for now, this has been your community calendar. I'm Emily Strandvo. Cheers.
So we're back with Sheila and Chris because there's so many things that I wanted to talk about and we only just touched upon it. So Sheila, I really want to just touch one more time on the Saturday night and what's happening there because that sounds really important and it involves, I believe, some of your bands.
Well, I'm hoping so. Saturday night is an amazing opportunity for the public and parents to come and pay only $10 to hear a huge variety of groups. There will be vocals, there will be combos, and there will be jazz bands. And the adjudicators choose who is going to perform that night. And you will have an adjudicator choose a group because of a particular song that they play or sing, and the adjudicator wants the audience to hear that because there's something special about what those kids have done. Yeah.
The exciting mix all across the board.
So amazing, amazing music.
Of course. Well, you know, because on Friday night is the Jazz Masters, and you can look on the website for that. But I also want to talk to you about the Rotary Center for the Arts because there's a lot going on, and the adjudicators are doing that. Tell me quickly about that.
So the combos will be performing at the Rotary Center for the Arts on Thursday all day. You can find the schedule at our website as well. That is free to get in, so you can hear all these great musicians having their adjudicated performances all day. And then the workshops will be taking place on Friday and Saturday. Those are also free, and the public is welcome to attend as well as the students.
Well, I'm going to pass you back on to Lucy, and I just wanted to say, come on and hear that jazz. Lucy, come on over here and finish up.
Sorry, I'm coming in here because, fun fact, Girl Cry cookies are now on sale throughout Kelowna, $5 a box, and you can find those out anywhere around you. So I might.
Lend me a $5?
I might share, I might not. But in the meantime, that's it from the OK Show. I've been your host, Lucy Hazelwood, and guys, let's hit it.
Thank you.